Hi everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to be looking through my much awaited Celestial Bodies astrology deck. So this is quite a chunk of a deck. So for those of you who maybe don't know, the artist, I believe her name is Deviny Wolf. She's also the creator of the Serpent Fire Tarot and the She-Wolf Tarot. She created this deck, which is completely an astrology and numerology oracle deck and guidebook. I ordered this deck probably 3 years ago. I knew it was a pre-order. I knew the art was still being created. But what happened was, if you followed her stories and the journey of this deck, the first shipment of this kind of went overboard on a shipping vessel. So she had lost all of the decks, so it took extra long to get it. So it's finally here. I finally feel ready to kind of go through it. So let's just get started. The production quality is beautiful, as just like her other decks, if you might have them. So let's take a look here. Celestial Bodies is an 83 card astrology and numerology oracle deck, 370 page comprehensive guidebook. So this is illustrated by Deviny Amber Wolf of Serpent Fire. It's written by Christina Farella of 8th House Astrology, Caitlin Carhart, author of You Are Cosmic Code, Essential Numerology, and Deviny Wolf. So let us get started, because this is a big one. So this artwork isn't for everybody. I happen to love Deviny's artwork. I think it's just like retro futuristic. I love the colors. It kind of just transports me into another dimension almost. It's the same way I feel about her Serpent Fire and the She-Wolf deck. So I really like her vibes. So, okay, first off, we have beautiful interior of the box. It looks like a poem. Really beautiful. I'm gonna read that later though, because I just want to get into these cards. So I'll put that off to the side. So already right now I'm noticing that the guidebook looks like it comes in 2 parts. This says volume, oh, okay, volume 1 and volume 2. All right, so that's really interesting. They are chunky, and we will take a look at those, but let's just get into the cards. Let's take the sleeve off. Okay, so it is kind of like an oracle size deck. It came in 2 different sizes. It was the, I believe the travel size, which is this one, and then there was an altar card size, which were much bigger, with the intent of like maybe studying them individually, putting them on your altar, things like that. I wanted the smaller one where I could really shuffle because I have small hands. So these are the backs, really beautiful, and it looks like the deck is holographic as well. So I've been really called to learn astrology. You know, I admit I only know the basics. I know my sun, moon, and rising. I've had my natal chart read. I have, you know, kind of like a brief understanding of my north node, my south node. My sun's in the 8th house, which really resonates with me, but like I'm being called lately to learn more. So I was hoping that this deck would be my learning deck as I go through this. So for right now, I just want to look through the images, and then we'll take a look at the guidebook. And then we're going to figure out how I'm going to use this deck. So we have the sun. And as you can see, Deviny's artwork is very like retro futuristic. That's the word that just keeps coming to mind. Moon. And it's certainly not for everybody. I really dig her art style. So it looks like we've got all the planets. It's really pretty. I'm really curious to, I have my natal chart saved. I did have a very in-depth reading done maybe 5 years ago, and I know where all of my placements are, so I'd really like to use this deck and kind of go deeper into what they mean. Okay, we've got our South Node and North Node. And this is where astrology kind of loses me. Like Chiron, I don't know what these things mean. Black Moon Lilith, it's beautiful. Solar eclipse. Lunar eclipse, that's gorgeous. New moon. I'm really excited to use these too with the moon phases, so I can use these in tarot spreads. Waxing crescent. First quarter. Waxing gibbous. Full moon. Waning gibbous. Last quarter. Waning crescent. Void of course. That's really beautiful. These images, her artwork is very transported for me. Like I feel like I can just kind of like escape reality and kind of get sucked into these, you know, celestial worlds, which again, that's why I like her artwork. Okay, so now I believe we have the astrological signs: Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Okay, now we've got the houses. We got our first house, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house, sixth house, seventh house, eighth house, ninth, 10th, 11th, and 12th. All right, so now we've got Ascendant, Midhaven. These are the parts that I am not familiar with, so I'm really excited to learn these terminologies. Descendant. I don't even know what that means. Imam Koli? I'm gonna have to read about that one. I don't know what that means. Masculine, feminine, and then we've got our elements: fire, earth, air, and water. And then we've got cardinal, fixed, and mutable. Conjunction, sextile. See, like again, these are things I don't know, so I really am curious what the guidebook's going to be able to teach me. Trine, stellium, opposition, grand trine, T-square, God. Is this supposed to be void? Is that a Y or a V? It must be a V. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. Grand cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh. Interesting. Wait a minute. Okay, I'm sure the book's going to explain this. We go from 9 to 11, and that looks like the, gosh, the words are escaping me. The Tree of Life configuration. Interesting. 22 33, and Saturn return. Okay, really interesting. So I'm going to do a shuffle, but before that, let's just take a look at the volume 1 and 2 of guidebooks. Ooh, we've got some goodies here. All right, so let's take a look. So in this one, we've got the luminaries and planets, the astrological signs and the houses, oh, okay, that's the table of contents for all of it. Okay, so let's see here. Note from the artist, how to use this deck. I'm definitely going to read that because, yeah, it says here it's not a shuffle and draw deck. It's a learning tool, so I'm really excited to see how I can use this. Unique spreads. Quite a bit of information there. Introduction to astrology. So this is all, I'm probably gonna devour these books. Okay, and then we go into the information on all of the cards. So I guess that's part 1, and then part 2, you can see, yeah, it starts with 196. So it's as if it were one large book, and I'm guessing they had to split it up because of the size. So let's just shuffle this and see what card we get, and maybe we can take a look at what the guidebook has to say. So this is a deck I would overhand shuffle. I probably wouldn't riffle it. The card stock is a bit thicker. Okay, I have pulled Gemini, which is interesting. That is my moon placement. I am a Gemini moon. So let's take a look where Gemini would be. Okay, so it looks like there's two pages about Gemini, 3 pages about Gemini. So it gives the ruling planet. It looks like the elements. It's a mutable sign, masculine. Okay, so it describes the artwork about the sign. And I think I'm super interested. Okay, so there's got a light and shadow meaning. So let's just see. The light meaning is Gemini is intellectual, sharp, observant, and inspired. And the shadow, Gemini can be duplicitous, divided against the self, and evasive. Ooh, I like how each card comes with a question, it looks like. This is, what are the goals of your intellectual focus? So that could be something for journaling. Suggestion, observe your natal chart and find the house with its cusp in Gemini. This is a place where Gemini themes reign supreme. And then the mantra from duality comes fertility. That's really beautiful. Let's try one more. Waxing or waning gibbous. I actually think that's the moon phase when I was born, actually. So let's see here, waning gibbous in my little guidebook. Okay, so key terms: demonstration, synthesis of information, communication, connectivity, reflection after full moon. In light, the waning gibbous is a moment of sharing energy with our fellow humans. In shadow, we feel the pressure to perfect lessons or things missed during the full moon time. And then question, how do you ritualize integrating lessons? How do you make the most of your gifts of mental clarity and language? So that's super interesting. Suggestion, the fallout of the full moon still swirls around you. Remember to gently find pathways to integration. And mantra, I thrive when I receive the wisdom of others. Let's do one more. Last quarter. So I'm just going to look up the question here. What guides your sense of philosophical rigor? So I feel like this deck, it's very much, what's the word I'm looking for? Intensive. So this is definitely going to be a study deck for sure. My sun's in the 8th house, and I just pulled that one out. It's really beautiful. So let me know what you think, guys. If this is a deck on your wish list, or if you have it, let me know in the comments below. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye.